We're going to have 10, 12 candidates entering or completing some part of human trials, and therefore we can be very hopeful that in 2021 that we will have at least one, if not more, candidates which are shown to be safe and effective. The good thing is that some groups started working in January as soon as the genetic sequence of this virus became public. And so in March, we actually had the first vaccine candidate being tested in human beings, the phase 1 test. Now, there are 2 vaccines that are currently in the later stages of testing, phase 2, phase 3. So we are expecting some results by October, November, December of this year. Now, we cannot predict at this stage if either of those 2 vaccines is going to meet those standards that I talked about. But if we're hopeful and optimistic, yes, we could have the results at the end of the year, and we could also have some doses available. Now, how many million doses are going to be available? We cannot say. But the good thing is that we have another 8 or 10 candidates which are getting into human trials, and again, which will be in large-scale human trials by the end of this year. We're going to have 10, 12 candidates entering or completing some part of human trials, and therefore we can be very hopeful that in 2021 that we will have at least one, if not more, candidates which are shown to be safe and effective. And you remember that it's not enough to show safe and effective, then you have to manufacture hundreds of millions of doses. So the other thing that WHO is working on is this developing a allocation framework, because we don't want to be in a situation where there are some doses of vaccine but that they're not available to everyone, that they're just available to a few people in a few countries. We need to have a consensus on that so that we agree to share the virus, the vaccine that's available. The virus has been shared by all around the world. So now we need to share the vaccine also in a way that we protect the most vulnerable. And as we go into 2021, 22, we'll have hundreds of millions, and many companies are saying they will manufacture billions of doses. Then it becomes easier to distribute it more fairly. So that as soon as, or even before, you know whether a vaccine is effective, there's already production of that vaccine happening so that it can be very quickly sent out to countries. And then a very important area, which again we are addressing, is getting countries ready to do this. So countries need to start planning, okay, if I have a 10 million doses or 20 million doses coming in by December, who am I going to vaccinate? How am I going to do that? How am I going to communicate this to people and be ready? Because, you know, to vaccinate people, you need also needles, syringes, you need cold chains, you need all sorts of other things to be put in place. It's not just a question of the vaccine arriving and then you'll be able to give it. So we may run into shortages of all of those. So we're also looking into glass vials, into needles and syringes, making sure that those are also being manufactured in enough volumes. So I think this is going to be a very hot topic for many months to come, and because it's clear that a vaccine would be the best way out of this pandemic. Vaccine development normally takes 10 to 20 years. So here we're talking about developing a vaccine in 12 to 18 months. But we have to be sure each step of the way that we establish that this vaccine actually works, which we call it efficacy, which means that it protects against infection, and safety. It should be safe in the sense you do not want a vaccine to cause more problems than what it's supposed to protect against. And so you have to go through these different phases of testing, starting from the laboratory, from cell cultures. Then you go into animals, mice, and some larger animals like monkeys. Then you go into humans in a small number of people, what we call a phase 1 trial, where about 20 or 30 people or 50 at the most are given this injection. Sometimes different doses are tried, and you look at them very carefully over the first few weeks to see what happens, both in terms of an immune response, because you want a good immune response to the virus, but also any side effects. Then you go to a phase 2, which is usually several hundred people. And then you do a phase 3 trial, which is usually thousands and thousands of people, where you have 2 groups. One group gets the vaccine, the other group gets usually some other vaccine as a as a standard or a placebo injection, and then you wait and watch over a few months for people to develop COVID through natural exposure. And then you see how many people developed in the vaccine group, how many developed it in the placebo or the standard group, and also you are looking at side effects. Then you come to a conclusion on whether the vaccine is having protection and also safe, efficacious and safe. You can vaccinate enough people, let's say 50-60% of people become immune, the virus can stop spreading from one person to another. Now you can get immunity through natural infection, but we've seen now in many countries where there's been a lot of infection that even at the end of a big outbreak, you have only 5 to 10% of the population with antibodies. So it's clear now that through natural infection, it's going to take a very, very long time to get natural herd immunity. So we need a vaccine.